What's up, guys? This is Rise and welcome to another video. We've got a cool one for you today, as Hot Pocket, a friend of mine, recently competed in the silph Continental Championships. A bunch of the top battlers in North America competing for a spot at the silph World Championships. After a long season of grinding, regional champions and the top ranked players on the silph leaderboard all battle it out in this one tournament. And this had an interesting format as well. It was the Open Great League with a few specific bans. Some things that were banned were Registeel, Granbull, Pachirisu, and none of your Pokemon were able to have an overlapped typing. So if you look at Pocket's team, Lantern, Electric Water, Venusaur, Poison Grass, Lickitung, Pure Normal, and you were only allowed to have 2 Monotype Pokemon max on your team. So Lickitung was one of those spots. Pocket didn't even bother using a second Monotype Pokemon. Some examples would be Umbreon or Vigoroth, if you wanted to use a Vigoroth. So that is Pocket's team. And in addition, another twist, in addition to the no overlapping typings, is that it is, rather than a show 6 pick 3, as most silph tournaments are, it was a show 8 ban 2 bring 3. So these trainers bring 8 Pokemon on their team. When they are matched against their opponent, both opponents take a minute to decide what 2 Pokemon they want to ban. And there's a lot of strategy involved in that, because you don't just simply ban what you think will make your 8 the strongest. You have to take into consideration what your opponent's going to ban and maybe place your bans based off of that. So an added format, added element of strategy with the bans. And I competed myself in this tournament as well, did not do the hottest. Lost 3 in a row, and then was able to respond and save a 500 record by winning my last 3. So Pocket did a lot better than me, let's just say that, and we are going to recap his run, starting with round number 1 against a man you may recognize, CalebPeng. And by the way, this is a longer video, so if you want to sit back, grab a snack, pause the video, feel free. And we're going to get into it. I'll do some brief breakdowns before each round, and then we'll get into the battle. So it looks like we have CalebPeng, who I'm sure most of you know, great content creator, battler. Go follow him on YouTube and Twitter. Caleb decided to ban G-Fisk and Medicham, potentially trying to open up that Bastiodon, right? We know Caleb loves his Bastiodon. And Pocket, perhaps expecting that, banned the Bastiodon and the Swampert. So I think this is a rough ban round for Caleb, because he banned the 2 biggest Bastiodon counters, and Pocket read it and banned the Bastiodon. So what looks super strong here? Honestly, that Venusaur looks really strong for Pocket, as long as it avoids the Altaria. Let's see, the Sableye looks all right. The Charm-9 looks really good, as long as it avoids the Shadow Venusaur. And we shall see what goes down here. Lickitung looks super safe as well. So a lot of neutral play here. And we're going to get into round number 1 for Pocket against CalebPeng, one of the best casters, creators, battlers we have in the community. A terrific lead for Pocket. He leads into the Altaria, and we see the immediate swap to Licky for Caleb. And Pocket knows he needs to retain switch advantage here, so he's actually going to do some charm damage, take the Body Slam, and then go into Altaria, which I like a lot. As long as he still is able to maintain switch advantage here, he should be fine. He's actually going to take another Body Slam here. Could have maybe thrown that Sky Attack before having to take this Body Slam, but he's going for this residual energy. I wouldn't imagine Caleb shields. Yeah, Caleb lets it go. Can Pocket get to a Sky Attack here? He does. That is massive. Not only to chip the Altaria, but to create a delay in the switch clock. And also, oh, and we see the quick snipe. Oh, this is cool. Pocket, most people would probably wait out their switch timer there and then come in Venusaur. Pocket knew that he could throw the Weather Ball, which would then be enough time for his switch timer to be up, and then go Venusaur. calls the Frenzy Plant as well. Nice call. Going for a Sludge Bomb here. He's up a shield, so is in a pretty comfortable spot, in my opinion. Going to be a CMP tie here. Charge move priority. Has to shield, even though it is a Frenzy Plant. And then Sludge Bomb coming through. This will put Shadow Venusaur quite low. Puts it quite low. We see the Altaria swap in, but honestly, this is probably Sludge Bomb range just about. So you could go either way here. I think the shield makes sense. You shield, you bank a move, and then you charm down. Oh, wow. This is actually a little bit tight. Doesn't live the Sky Attack. Has to throw a Frenzy. Oh, man. This is going to be close. Throws the Frenzy. Oh, and is actually going to lose this one. Wow. Really interesting. Yeah, couldn't afford to overfarm much there. I wonder if he shields the Venu and then Sludge Bombs the alt if he wins. Tricky, but we go into game number 2 after dropping game number 1. And now we've got Altaria versus Lickitung. I believe Lickitung wins this matchup in the 1 shield scenario. Altaria going for a Sky Attack here. And Licky is going to commit a shield. Caleb wants switch advantage here. If he has an Altaria in the back, that could be really a lot of trouble for the Venusaur to deal with. Lickitung going to get off a Body Slam here. Let's see if Poket is willing to commit a shield. He is not. He's actually going to let the Altaria go. And Caleb might have been able to lick down there, so perhaps a bit of a misplay from Caleb. Might have been able to lick down, but now Venu's going to get a big Vine Whip down. Licky does get to another Body Slam, though. So this is a little bit of trouble, but Poket knows how safe his Lickitung is. His Lickitung is very neutral against all of Caleb's team, so by saving 2 shields for it, I think that is pretty smart of Poket. In comes the Charm 9, excuse me, and we're going to go for a Body Slam here. Start chipping away at this Ninetales. Honestly, yeah, I think you shield this, right? Even though it's a Weather Ball, not a whole lot of things left to shield because this A9 probably won't even get to another move, or Poket won't allow it to, rather. Has the double Body Slam, and this Altaria has a lot of work to do. Gonna go for this Body Slam immediately against the Altaria. Body Slam chunks. This is a little tricky, though. Throws the Body Slam here. Venu doesn't have energy, does it? Has to swap here to not give the farm. Altaria is in Frenzy range and is going to get to the Frenzy. Altaria had to double up there on Sky Attack. So if you're wondering why Caleb didn't throw the move, no reason to throw, right? Pocket still has a shield. Had to get to the double up and probably was just barely short of it. And game 3, decisive game 3 here in round 1. And we've got the Venusaur mirror match. And you know that there's likely an Altaria in back. So it's good that Venu's avoiding this. Really, for both sides, we could very well see the mirror match here. The mirror teams, except normal Venu versus Shadow Venu. Pocket elects to shield the Sludge Bomb. Both trainers shielding the Sludge Bomb. Gonna try and fight for switch. And Caleb makes a nice catch on the Sludge. Able to catch the Sludge. But now Pocket responds with the Altaria. And Pocket could simply... You don't even necessarily need to shield. He's not going to shield the Sky Attack. And he's healthier, so he knows he can farm down here and come out with a move loaded. I can't imagine Caleb comes in with Venusaur. Yeah, has to come in with Licky, and Licky's going to eat at least 1 Sky Attack, potentially 2, if Altaria can get there. Can it get there? It does! With just 1 HP, the Puffy Sky Dragon gets to another Sky Attack. That is massive, and I think Pocket is in a commanding position. Keep in mind that Venusaur has a move loaded. So this Venusaur has a lot of energy, and it looks like Pocket may try and sweep with his own Venusaur. That might be the strategy. Do you just let Licky go here? Gonna shield the Licky, okay. Gonna shield the Licky. The thing is, Body Slam doesn't quite knock out here. Does Venusaur get there? Oh, Pocket throws the body slam because he doesn't want Venusaur to get to another frenzy. And this opposing Licky does have a shield. However, Pocket's Venusaur is still super healthy and back. It's probably not even in double body... Oh, maybe double body slam range. Maybe double body slam range. Does Licky get off 2 body slams here before the frenzy? It does. Venusaur has the frenzy loaded. I think it barely survives this. It does. Has the frenzy. And Hot Pocket in a very closely contested battle against CalebPeng is able to squeak by as we go to round number 2. What a battle that was against Caleb. And now we go to round 2 against Tony Jr. We look at Tony's team. Tony brought a Wigglytuff and a Mandibuzz, as well as a Cresselia, Shadow Venusaur again, Frostlass, Lantern, G-Fisk, and Shadow Kanto Ninetales. Pocket electing to ban the Wiggly and the Mandy, so 2 of the more RPS Mons. So banning the Wiggly and the Mandy, as Tony banned the Altaria and the G-Fisk. 2 Pokemon that would have given that Mandy a tough time. And with, oh my gosh, without the Mandy and the Wiggly, this really opens things up for Sableye. That Sableye looks really menacing for Hot Pocket. Honestly, no hard check to the Sableye. It's very safe. The Medicham looks pretty good as well. Not as good as Sableye because it still has to watch out for Frost and Cress. So that's definitely a concern. Let's see, Lantern looks okay. Venusaur looks okay, kind of hit or miss. Lickitung has to watch out for the G-Fisk, and A9 also has a couple of hard checks to watch out for. So Sableye really looks like the MVP for Pocket. I can't imagine him not bringing it every game. And if you're Tony, what looks good for Tony? That Frostlass could put in a little bit of work. The G-Fisk, pretty good against A9, against Licky, against Lantern, depending on what moveset Pocket is running. And of course, the Cresselia is always a unique pick. Excuse my mic going down for a second. Maybe that's a sign. Enough talking, Rise. Let's get into the battle. As Hot Pocket takes on Tony here in round 2. Medicham into G-Fisk. Great lead for Pocket. And he's running the standard Ice Punch Psychic. Doesn't have an obvious answer to Venusaur. And it looks like that's something I forgot to mention. The Shadow Venusaur looks like an issue for Tony. How do I spend 2 minutes doing a breakdown and I miss what's easily the strongest Pokemon for Tony is the Shadow Venusaur? Pocket then swaps in the Licky. But to be completely honest, if you're Pocket, I don't think you bother committing any shields here. I think you let this Venusaur frenzy you, and then you farm down with the Pokemon of your choice. Yeah, and that's what Pocket's going to do. He gets the shield advantage. He's going to counter down, and this will force the opponent to reveal what's in back. Could have potentially waited out a switch timer a bit there, but not a huge deal. And now you're going to see the swap into Sableye as quickly as possible. Tony going to get off a move here. Pocket has to respect a potential Moonblast. It is a Moonblast, so a good shield. And now you've got Sableye versus G-Fisk. Sableye straight up wins the one shield against G-Fisk, even if you get Rock Slide baited, because it takes an Earthquake and a Rock Slide to knock out Sableye, and Pocket actually calls the bait. What a call. And this should put him in a really solid position, because now he can simply shield one more move, take out the G-Fisk with a foul play, and I don't think that Cress has much residual energy, so should be able to land a foul play on the Cresselia. Foul play here. CMP, charge move priority, will knock out the G-Fisk. And now you just have to land a foul play here. There's no need to try and go for a catch. That could be a potential lose condition. So just goes straight for the foul play. Then swaps Maddie, then gets the catch. Moonblast probably won't even KO from here. Oh, it's only a Grass Knot, and Tony recognizes that it's over, so he just undercharges the Grass Knot. So a confident game 1 win for Pocket. Here we go, game number 2, Licky into Stunfisk. So a tough lead this time, and we're actually going to see him stay in. This is interesting. We also did see Tony reveal Grass Knot Moonblast on Cress. So that means the Venusaur is really not afraid of Cress either. Venusaur has no charge moves it has to worry about from the Cresselia. This is a somewhat close matchup for Licky, as you see. If you land 2 Power Whips, pretty close to KOs. Oh, can he get there? He does get to the Power Whip. So just going to try and get this Venu low and then farm down, it appears. Comes in with Venu. It's surprising Pocket didn't care too much about switch advantage here, because that K9, if Tony brought it, would be tough for this Venu. But nope, it's the Shadow Venu. So this is totally fine. We could potentially even see... Okay, we see the shield and then the swap into Sableye. And these Shadow Claws are going to add up against this Shadow Venusaur. And there's the Lantern in back. It is a Water Gun Lantern, so it's a little bit bulkier than Sableye, and these Water Guns are going to add up. However, it looks like with how much these Shadow Claws do, Pocket just needs to go straight foul play here and should be in a good position. Is electing to let the move go. I like it. Goes for the return here, expecting a no shield from the Lantern. Wants to make sure he gets the knockout, but Tony does shield it. And this becomes... Oh, but Sableye gets to the foul play before it gets water gunned down with... Look at that invisible HP. The Ghost hanging on by a thread. Now this Venusaur needs to get off 2 moves. The opposing Venusaur needs to get the bait, which it does. Sludge Bomb is going to put it awfully low, but it might hang on here. It might hang on. It does. Can it get to a Sludge? It cannot. And Pocket's Venusaur, the superior Venusaur, able to take down Tony. And we're going to play a game 3 here in Silph, as we see Sableye into K9. You play all 3 games, even if one trainer wins the first 2. If you're able to like force it to be a 1-2, that can have a better impact for your ranking. It's not as bad as losing 0-3. And yeah, so we see Pocket elect to take the Weather Ball. It's just going to go for shield advantage here, it appears. Just electing to let Sableye go down. And is going to try and counter down with Medi. And we're seeing Tony allow the counter down to happen. So Pocket is going to counter down the K9. Oh, no shields. I guess knew that it wasn't an overheat. This is actually brilliant. Gets off the Ice Punch. Knows 2 Ice Punches KOs. I guess the Psychic would have been pretty devastating if he had just thrown that. But gets the final shield. And now you just sweep with Venusaur? Now you just sweep with Venusaur? You're just gonna 2 shield sweep with Venusaur. Oh man. You kind of have to shield at this point. So this is where it's important to keep track of energy very carefully, very closely, so you can overfarm as much as possible. That K9, I forget if it's in like Vine Whip downrange. I'm not sure if it's in Vine Whip downrange. You might have to throw a move at it still. Let's see what's going to come in. It's a G-Fisk. You only need 2 Frenzies to knock out a G-Fisk. I think Tony's only win con at this point is a catch. But we very well might see Pocket just go up to the Frenzy and then wait for a Mud Shot to happen. Calls the Rock Slide like a savage. And then just commits to the Frenzy Plant. No big deal. Looked like a charge move priority, or Tony is just conceding. And the Frenzy Plant knocks out the G-Fisk for a round 2 win. A sweep for Hot Pocket as we move on to round number 3 against MattBrewer, who is rocking a bit of a different team. He's got the Obstagoon, the Tapu Fini, another Kanto Shadow Ninetales, and an Altaria and a normal Venusaur. So an interesting team from MattBrewer. We see the Altaria and the Shadow K9 got banned, and Pocket's Venusaur is still around. Oh man, that Venusaur looks super dangerous, especially as a safe swap. If you guys didn't know, so Venusaur and Frostlass have the same pacing, right? Vine Whip is 8 energy per Vine Whip, Powder Snow is 8 energy per Powder Snow. And Frenzy Plant and Avalanche are both 45 energy moves. So they get to their moves at the same time, 665. So if you actually safe swap your Venusaur and get a head start on a Frostlass, your Venusaur can win that matchup in the 1 and the 2 shield, I believe. So Poket's Venusaur looks like an absolute menace. And what looks good for MattBrewer? He banned the Lantern in the Altaria, maybe to open up the Frostlass, but Frostlass still has a couple of... I mean, Frostlass doesn't have much play, to be honest, against all the Poket's team. Like, the only thing that it's really strong against is the Medicham. So yeah, Poket has like an anti-Frostlass team. Jeephyss looks alright. Really only scared of the Medi. Obstagoon, you guys know I'm a fan of, but it has that Medi and that A9 to watch out for. The opposing Medi has the Charmer and the Sableye to watch out for. How about Tapu Fini? Tapu Fini looks pretty good. It's only afraid of Venusaur, but you know Venusaur is coming every game. And also, once again, Matthew's Venusaur looks good. So I think we're in store for more Venusaur mirror matches. And here we go. What a lead for Poket in game number 1. And what the heck? We're seeing... Okay. We see Matthew stay in for briefly. Really surprising. I can't imagine why. Maybe he has Frostlass in back. But I feel like Frostlass has such minimal play. I don't know why he would bother bringing it, to be honest. Well, I guess maybe he knows the Venusaur is coming, so that could be a reason to bring Frostlass. Ice Punch takes out Venu. Let's see what is going to come in here. The opposing Medi comes in. Might go for a big counter down, but gonna have to eat a Psychic here in the process. This will do some nice damage. Elects to shield. These, man. Okay, this is over. This is so over. I don't know why Matthew elected to stay in for so long against the Sableye. If I was him, I would just get out of there immediately. But yeah, now you got Venu against Tapu, and this is just pretty RPS. A terrific lead, and having that energy head start allowed him to secure the safe swap scenario pretty easily, and now has a terrific matchup here in the back. Gonna shield the Surf just to be safe, and able to anticipate the combo attempt from MattBrewer. Very nice. Poket on his toes, on his tiptoes, and should be able to secure this game 1 here. Yeah, nice read. Nice team comp. Sableye gonna get off a foul play here. And yeah, I mean, the Venusaur is so strong as well on MattBrewer's side, but I don't think he utilized it as well as he could have by staying in. If he had swapped that Venusaur right away, I think he makes things a lot more uncomfortable for Poket. But by allowing the Sableye to get like a 4 or 5 Shadow Claw head start and then swapping, you're just setting your Venusaur up in a tough position. So a comfortable game 1 win for Poket. Here we go, game number 2. Poket, you see that number 8, by the way, next to his name on the graphic, means he's the 8th ranked battler in the world on silph. And we see Sableye into Jeephyss. So, neutral matchup. We know Sableye does win this in the 1 shield scenario. I believe Jeephyss only wins the 0 shields. And once again, calls the Rock Slide bait. Man, Poket is calling a lot of Rock Slides here. Looks like a CMP tie here on the second, and this is just a Rock Slide, so there's really no reason to shield this unless Poket wants to preserve the health on his Sableye. Gonna store a foul play and swap in Medi to lure out the Frostlass. Okay, I like this. Man, gotta shield the Shadow. That's a good shield because that would either knock out or like come close to knocking out. Psychic lands. Oh man, if he throws the Ice Punch here, this is an Avalanche, right? He can. Oh my God, Medi's gonna flip this, dude. Medi's going to flip this by committing a shield and comes out with a ton of energy. Throws the Psychic, knowing Psychic does more raw damage against G-Fisk. Doesn't quite knock out. And now we've got Venusaur. Okay, so this still isn't over. This still isn't over because G-Fisk has some energy. And this opposing Venu's up a shield. This is going to be real interesting. Also, the Medi has some residual energy, so I don't know if it could reach an Ice Punch. I'm not sure if Pocket's Medi can reach an Ice Punch here. Able to get that second shield. And is going to elect... Oh, wow. Is going to elect to let Venusaur go down. Want to get off this return. No, oh, it's a CMP tie. Has to shield to get off this return. But I think Pocket has this because this return should just about KO the Venusaur. And the G-Fisk is too low where it's not going to be able to fast move down. Fast moves are going to KO the Venusaur first, the G-Fisk first. And what a game 2 win for Pocket. Man, crazy game, very well played. And a terrific lead here in game number 3. Oh man, this just immediately looks like a very tough situation for MattBrewer. Debating whether he wants to shield. I think it's safe, yeah. I think you just shield. As long as you maintain switch, it's going to be hard for MattBrewer to overcome this with the Medicham aligned with the Obstagoon. And also, this is like the hardest punish to the Medicham. Excuse me. So Medicham just avoiding this Frostlass immediately becomes really strong. Tapu Fini comes in, so yeah, you could honestly just... You could do whatever you want here. I guess the safest play is to simply just let them take you out here with a Surf. They actually try to catch on their Goon, just trying to pull some tricks out of the bag. Oh, does Goon have a big move, or is this just going to be like a Night Slash? Yeah, this is going to be a Night Slash. I'm going to get off 2 of them. But with that Venusaur lurking in the back, this game is very much over. A Surf here, Medi might be able to tank. Yeah, barely lives the Surf. Also, the Sableye has a return, so Pocket doesn't even need to necessarily reveal his back Pokemon. So yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going to come in with the Sableye. He's going to return the Tapu Fini. Back to your home, Tapu. Return to your Pokeball. And gets a confident win here against MattBrewer. Let me just pause it on our... Oh, shoot. Oh, it was like so quick. Pause. There it is. Rhyblet. The round 4 opponent for Hot Pocket. Let's see. We see a Bastiodon return for the first time since CalebPeng. We see Meganium. We see Shadow Nidoqueen as well, which is just such an impressive Pokemon. And I think Umbreon making its first appearance. Rhyblet decided to ban the A9 as well as the G-Fisk. Pocket banning the Altaria and the Nidoqueen. So what looks strong is always the question. To be honest, that Bastiodon looks pretty strong. Really just has to avoid Medi. Is going to dominate the Altaria and the Lickitung, and then kind of neutral against Sableye, Venu, and Lantern. How does Umbreon look? Umbreon looks pretty strong with that A9 out of the picture. Just wants to avoid Medicham, and, Venusaur, Altaria also, I believe, do beat Umbreon in most scenarios. Frostlass looks pretty good. Just has to avoid Sableye and Lantern, I guess. Meganium doesn't look great, but if you could get it lined up on that Lantern, that would be devastating. It's really tough for Pocket to bring Altaria, to be honest, though. So that might actually really open things up for the Meganium. Because look at Rhyblet's team, right? Frostlass, Bastiodon, Tapu Fini. Looks kind of tough to bring the Altaria. So will that open things up for Meganium? Let's find out. Pocket versus Rhyblet, both 3-0 here in round number 4. And Sableye into Meganium. Looks like a CMP tie here. Foul play and Frenzy Plant. Oh, wow. Rhyblet electing to shield the foul play. That's surprising to me because Meganium's a very bulky Pokemon. It can tank that pretty easily. We see the safe swap Venusaur, and I like this play. Dude, why do I always disrespect Venusaur? Venusaur looks insane for Pocket once again. Like, there's no hard check to it. Frostlass is the hardest check. And as we know, that's not super comfortable for Frostlass either, especially when Venusaur has an energy lead. So apologies for disrespecting the Venusaur and not highlighting it as like the best Pokemon. When I do these pre-match breakdowns, I like I'm putting myself on a time limit, so I always seem to miss which Pokemon looks insane. And Venusaur is showing how strong it is right now. Takes out, oh man, takes out the Basti, and now you got Charm 9 versus Umbreon. This is terrible for Rhyblet. And Rhyblet, I think, is just conceding at this point. You see him not throwing any charge moves. He knows this is over because, because Meganium is pretty low, right? Oh, no, wait. Huh. Was he still switch locked? He must have been. He must have still been switch locked. So he had to take a bunch of charm damage and then just kind of conceded because he had to take so much charm damage. Okay, game 2, tough lead for Pocket. Gonna go straight into Medicham, and it looks like there's no Frostlass this time. Foul play going to Chunk Medi, and now we got the Medi Mirror. But with such an energy head start, this is not going to be comfortable for Rhyblet to maintain switch advantage. Especially if Pocket shields a Psychic here, he'll kind of be in control. Calls the Ice Punch. Pocket, bro. What are you eating for breakfast, dude? What is your mom making you for breakfast that you're reading these kids' minds? Does Pocket elect to commit the shield here? He doesn't, knowing he lives the Ice Punch. Holy guacamole. Lives the Ice Punch. Now you've got Venusaur and Umbreon, which isn't, like, amazing, but it means your Sableye likely has a good matchup against whatever's in back. Unless it's, like, Tapu Fini. If it's Tapu Fini, that'd be kind of bad. Frenzy Plant draws a shield. I wonder if it is Tapu. Umbreon. I guess Tapu lead would kind of make sense because you're probably not going to be double weak to fighting with a Bastion on. Okay, maybe you are. Maybe you are. So I guess the plan for a Medi lead was just stay in and sack the Umbreon. Which makes sense. Umbreon doesn't do that bad against Medi. As long as Medi doesn't have like Pup or Dynamic Punch. And Pocket should be in a pretty commanding position here. Has both shields, but you know what? I forget the status on that Umbreon. If that Umbreon still has enough health or energy, this could actually be a little bit sketchy for Pocket. Foul play coming through. Almost has added another already, by the way. Goes for a CMP tie here. Is really hoping this foul play is enough to knock out the Basti. And it is. That is massive. Went for maybe a potential catch. Umbreon is forced to throw here. Pocket has the Frenzy Plant loaded, which should be just about enough to take out Umbreon. So is going to commit the shield and get off this Frenzy Plant. Boom. Knocks out Umbreon. And man, Pocket, right, this just feels like he's playing super cleanly, like just superb, making all the right reads, terrific energy management, and has a very positive lead here for game number 3. Built a little bit of energy and then swapped the Medi, which is interesting. In my opinion, this isn't like the most comfortable matchup for Medi, in the Zero Shield at least, so I'm a little bit surprised, but let's see. Maybe it's more comfortable than I think, or maybe he's just willing to commit a shield here to come out with a bunch of energy, so that kind of makes sense too. Ice Punch does a little bit to Umbreon. Umbreon's like, that's cute, Medi. That's a cute little Ice Punch you got there. Umbreon staying away from the Sableye is also really good for Pocket. Perfect timing here. Ice Punch should be lethal from this range. And takes out the Umbreon. Rhyblet was able to get shield advantage, and here comes... Do you consider switching here into Sableye? Yep. Gets the shield, swaps Sableye, and now, to be honest, I think you just saved the shield for Venu. Let's see what Pocket decides to do here. Has the foul play loaded if he wants to commit a shield, but is going to let it go and is going to... Is purposely... That was not a mistake. He purposely allowed that to happen. Is this the Earthquake? This is going to hurt. Ow. Purposely? Oh my god, Pocket. Dude. Pocket's playing out of his mind right now. But Frenzy probably won't quite KO. Can the Venusaur Vine Whip down first? Oh my god, that did a little more than I thought. Holy guacamole. Quick little instant replay. I mean, with editor Chris right now, going back here, it's not necessarily instant, but we see Pocket take the Frenzy Plant. He has the foul play. This is not a case of like over tap or anything like that. Pocket knows if he foul plays here, right, then his opponent lets the Meganium go down, Powder Snow's down with Frostlass, and then Frostlass is going to reach 2 Avalanches before the Venusaur reaches 2 Frenzy Plants. So Pocket intentionally doesn't throw his move, comes in with Venusaur, lets this Earthquake going through because he has to, right? This Earthquake's gonna do a lot, but he has to because an Avalanche would one-shot him. An Earthquake won't one-shot him. He can live it. Vine Whips down, has almost 2 Frenzies loaded already, and Rhyblet, knowing that, doesn't bother committing a shield here because he knows Pocket has 2 anyway. And that is a GG if I've ever seen one. Really nice end game, dude. And now, it's the Bop Man. Mr. Bopper, a terrific battler from the great state of Texas. I went back too far. Gosh dang it. Gosh darn it. But here's the Bop Man's team as we watch Venusaur being Venusaur for the several hundredth time. Also, Pocket very fashionable with his in-game character. Bro, are you kidding me right now? Why is my phone on the screen? OBS, what the heck? Editor Chris, I'm blaming you. If you're not in on the joke, by the way, I'm Editor Chris. I'm not being rude to Editor Chris. Well, I guess I am. I'm being rude to myself. Okay, holy guacamole. Apologies for that. Blooper reel. I wonder what's going to happen here. Venusaur is going to take out. Okay. Please, work. You game that I love so much. Pocket versus Bopper. Round number 5. Both of these battlers undefeated to this point. Bopper with a few unique picks. He's got the Shadow Beedrill with which Pocket has decided to ban. And the Shadow Swampert. I think that might be the first time we've seen Swampert today. Is that correct? Or maybe the second time? But Shadow Swampert, and he has banned Pocket's G-Fisk and A9. So what looks strong on both sides? To be honest, that Altaria looks quite strong for Bopper. What does Pocket have to deal with it? He has his own Altaria. He has Lickitung. That's about it. Medicham can fight back with Ice Punch, of course. Sableye can fight back as long as it has shields. But that Altaria paired with the Bastiodon looks quite strong. I mean, I think Bopper, for the first time, I think an opponent might have the ban advantage over Pocket. Pocket's Venusaur, as per usual, looks really strong, but has to avoid that Altaria that you know is coming. Lantern looks solid. Lantern looks quite solid here. Doesn't have any hard checks. I assume it's running Spark. If it's running Spark, it doesn't have any hard checks. But if it's running Water Gun, Altaria, I would consider a hard check to it. And then Medi is kind of tough to bring, to be honest. It only has one like really good matchup against Bastiodon. Everything else is either pretty neutral or bad. So it's tough for Pocket to bring Medi. I'd expect a lot of like Venu, No, even Altaria is tough. I'd expect a lot of like Venu, Licky, Lantern, or Sableye maybe. Maybe like Venu. I think Venu, Licky, Lantern are probably Pocket's best 3 here. But he brings the Medi. Medi, Venu, Licky. Okay. So not the 3 that I would have brought, but I mean, Pocket had a much better record than me in this tournament, so who am I to say? Psychic, okay, Psychic lands on Medi, gets the defense fell. Both Medis taking a Psychic here. Pocket knows this is an Ice Punch. He is debuffed, but he lives it anyway, pretty comfortably, I might add. Goes for the Psychic, wants to guarantee the KO, and does get the KO. Opponent gets a lick down. I think you got to come in with, okay. Comes with Venusaur. And then the Altaria swaps in. So a great backline recognition. A great backline recognition there. And now hoping that the Licky can do enough to this Altaria. But I'm pretty sure Altaria is going to win the 2-shield scenario here, because I don't think there's any way Licky oh wow, Pocket's just letting it go down. Knows that if he commits shields, he's going to end up getting Dragon Breath down, and then Venusaur will have no shields. Oh man, it's not that much health on Altaria, but like it's not, you can't Vine Whip it down, so you have to throw a Frenzy, which is kind of brutal. You do knock it out, but you had to expend your energy and take a little bit of Dragon Breath damage in the process. So now Licky has enough of a health lead and an energy lead that I think it's going to be able to just simply outpace here. It's going to get to 3 body slams. We already saw the 1 to grab the shield. Licky overfarming. Pocket's going to let it go. He's been keeping track of energy, and he knows Licky probably was doubled up at that point, and is going to drop game 1 against Bopper. Lickitung versus Medi here in game number 2. Pocket trying to stay alive. Lickitung, by the way, does not do bad by any means against Medicham. It's a very close matchup. A lot of people consider this bad. I see it sometimes on like shoutcasts of tournaments and stuff. Like, oh no, like he leads Licky into Medi. He's got to get out of there. No, you don't. As you're seeing, this is a very neutral matchup. Licky is actually going to win the 0-shield scenario. But he does get licked down. Oh, no, he doesn't. This may seem minuscule, but this is pretty massive. This is pretty massive to make this more comfortable for his own Medi. And there's an Altaria in back, and this is a little tricky. It's like, if you stay in and commit shields, do you try and like catch a Sky Attack here? The problem is if you stay in here and commit your shields, then the Licky just power whips your Lantern and wins that matchup. So I'm not sure how you play this, to be honest. Gets the Ice Punch. And after he lands the Ice Punch, goes into Lantern. I like this a lot. Gets Moon Blasted. That's not ideal. And is going to throw a Surf here to try and get rid of this Altaria. But Lantern's healthy enough where it's not going to get farmed down. Body Slam comes through. I think you just let it go, right? You let it go. You get off your Thunderbolt knowing that you're only going to get off 1 move. And then you just save a shield for Medi. And there's no point in even throwing a move here with Medi. No point in throwing any charge moves here. Just got to counter down and gets the counter down. Once again, Bopper had to commit to 2 body slams to throw. And here we go. Game number 3 in a competitive set here. Licky versus the dreaded Altaria, but this is where Pocket wants to see it. This is where he wants to see it, because Licky does fine here. Licky is a little bit bulkier than Altaria. We see the safe swap Licky from the opponent, and this once again very neutral matchup. That slight head start for Licky might be enough to, well, it's going to be enough to flip the 0 shields, because it's going to allow Licky to get to these 2 body slams before 2 frenzy plants. So Pocket has to make a decision here. Is he gonna expend the shield? He is not, but he gets off the frenzy. That's big. Does Bopper now shield and farm down, or does he let it go? Bopper lets it go, saving shields for the back Pokemon, and it's the Medicham. Wow. This is gonna be an uphill climb for Pocket. Oh my gosh, Bopper still? Now he has to shield, right? Now he has to shield. Okay, gonna go for a huge farm down here. Man. Shield's a psychic. Okay, great shield from Pocket. I guess you shield this. Yeah. Shields the psychics correctly, which is great. Probably gonna get moonblasted here. You almost like have to bait Surf here. I think it's the only play, yeah. Gonna go for the Surf bait. Does Bopper commit his last shield? He does. And then you commit to the Thunderbolt. Commit to the Thunderbolt, but there's a move here. Is it just a Sky Attack? You might live a Sky Attack. Gets off the Thunderbolt. Holy crap, dude. Thunderbolt. Is it enough to take out Altaria? It is. But the Medi is just a little bit too healthy. And Licky barely doesn't get to the body slam, man. Oh. What an incredible set that was from Bopper and Hot Pocket. No shame in losing that, man. That was an incredible set. And this brings us to round number 6 against Abhinav, a terrific battler from the Chicago area. By the way, Bopper, the battler from the great state of Texas, did go on to win this Continentals tournament. But this is still a crucial match because I believe there are... I literally was just... I was part of this tournament and I forget how many spots there were, but let's say like anywhere from 1 to 2 or 3 spots down from the champion, people would also get a Worlds invite. So if these guys are, they don't know necessarily how many people, how many spots down from first place are also going to get the Worlds invite. So this is still a critical match to try and get that last spot for Worlds. And here we go. So Abhinav actually bringing a Regice, which is crazy. You see that impressive ranking, by the way, on Abhinav's card, number 12 in the world. And we see Trevenant. Haven't seen too many Trevenants, which is pretty crazy. Umbreon, Azumarill. I brought Azumarill myself. This is actually a very similar team to the one I brought. Yeah, pretty similar from Abhinav, except for the Regice. And let's see. So we saw Pocket. I've been talking for 50 minutes. I'm starting to lose it. Shadow, Beedrill, and Altaria have been banned by Pocket. And we've seen Alolan Ninetales and Galarian Stunfisk as the bans for Abhinav. So what looks good? Take a quick scan. Trevenant, kind of hit or miss in my opinion. Azu, kind of hit or miss. G-Fisk looks pretty strong. Only has to worry about Medicham for the most part. Umbreon looks quite strong. Umbreon has no hard check for Abhinav, so look out for Umbreon. Does the Regice look great? It looks okay. Not the best. Doesn't do very well against Medicham, of course. But has some play against everything else. And then for Pocket, is the Venusaur good again? Yeah, Venusaur's pretty good again, but has to watch out for Trevenant isn't great, and Regice wouldn't be great if Abhinav brings it. But you have to wonder, like, is Abhinav planning on actually bringing the Regice, or is it more of like just a mono type that he could use to get like more typings on all of his other Pokemon? So I am not sure. With that said, let's see how this last one plays out. Looks like Sableye pretty strong too for Pocket. Round number 6. Both trainers have lost one game and are fighting for potentially second place in the silph Continental Championships. And here we go. Terrific lead for Pocket here. Licky into Trev. We see the G-Fist swap. Pocket very quick to react into the Medi. Has a good matchup here. So you can't get too greedy in this matchup. So Pocket is committing the shield, which I like. Gonna throw an Ice Punch here. We will likely see G-Fisk reach a second Earthquake, which is unfortunate. Oh, so Pocket not going to allow that to happen, is actually going to throw his second Ice Punch. And we're probably going to see Trev come in right away. Okay, I'm not sure why Abhinav is waiting so long, because this is going to allow Pocket to now get out of here before Trev can do anything. And now we see the Umbreon lured out, and Pocket just playing this game perfectly here. If Pocket had let the Trevenant get a bunch of farm, that Umbreon could have put in a lot of work, but now he still has the Medicham saved for this Umbreon, even if Umbreon wins this matchup here against Licky. And then he's got the Sableye, so I expect us to see no shields here from Pocket. No shields here on the Lickitung, and simply just save the shield for the Sableye in the endgame. And because that Trevenant took the Ice Punch, the Trevenant is not going to be able to get to 2 moves against Sableye. Maybe like 2 Seed Bombs, if anything. But it's not going to be able to be the Sableye. So this game is essentially over already. And because of Pocket's really impressive play, I don't think there's realistically much that Abhinav could have done this game with this line of 3. Honestly, at this point, doesn't even need to shield Sableye. You just save a shield for Medicham, and then Medicham finishes off the Umbreon. And Abhinav not even going to get a chance to use a shield here. But honestly, there wasn't a whole lot to shield, unless you wanted to like shield an Ice Punch from the Medi on the G-Fisk. Okay, so not a great lead here. But Sableye doesn't do as bad as you'd think against Azu. Sableye can actually flip this matchup if you successfully land the returns or bait with foul plays. Abhinav is able to shield correctly there. And 2 times we've actually seen Abhinav throw on alignment, which surprises me a little bit. So he let in a free Shadow Claw the first time, and this time allows Pocket to catch here by throwing on alignment. We see the Lickitung absorb that foul play, and now it's met by the Umbreon. This is not good for Licky, but Licky can at least spam off body slams and chip away at this Umbreon slowly but surely. Another move coming in from the Umbreon. Pocket, tried to catch the foul play on Venu, but is unsuccessful. Has a lot of energy banked on that Licky, which could be useful for later. These foul plays going to chunk the Venu. You know that Azu's not going to come in, and it is the Trev. Okay, so Trev can take 1 Sludge Bomb. It definitely can't take 2, obviously. Can it get the Shadow Claw down here? It does. It gets the Shadow Claw down. Comes in with Licky to absorb this. I don't think Licky lives this Seed Bomb. So putting it all on Sableye, going for the farm down, has to commit a shield. Oh man, I'm pretty sure the Azu has energy though. So Pocket knows he can't shield. And wow, it looks like Abhinav is going to be able to win that game. And unfortunately, Pocket, the Sableye fainted with a lot of energy. The Licky fainted with a lot of energy. And it comes down here to a decisive game 3. Terrific lead for Pocket and the Lickitung. We expecting the Umbreon safe swap, met by the Medicham. So this is looking really good so far for Pocket. He was so quick on that swap as well. I don't think the Umbreon's going to be able to draw a shield here. If Umbreon gets a little bit of a head start, it can force a shield from Medicham here in the 0 shield scenario. Oh, wow. Okay. Is going to force a shield, but now Pocket's going to get a massive counter down. And this time, we're probably going to see him just let himself get farmed down and get off these ice punches against the Treb, because this time he doesn't have another answer in back. He has a Venusaur in back. But gonna get off. Oh, going for the Psychic here, knowing he's only gonna get to one move. Psychic does a little bit more. And lands and actually takes out. Oh my gosh. And now has two fully healthy Pokemon for this G-Fisk. And although G-Fisk does well against Lickitung, it doesn't do well enough to the point where I think it can close this out. Plus that Medicham still has a little bit of health to the point where it's going to get off multiple counters against this G-Fisk. You have to shield this move if you're Abhinav. It's a wise shield. Oh man. You have to Earthquake here and then Rock Slide right away after one Mud Shot. Oh, but no, he's already there. He's already at the Frenzy, and this is going to do enough damage where this is clearly game over. And a dominant, emphatic Game 3 win for Poket, which ended up being enough to secure him a spot in the silph World Championships. So very proud of Poket, very happy for him. Gets the world spot. Terrific battler, fun dude, fun kid. He's only 16 years old, by the way, so I like to say if any of you teenagers or younger battlers out there looking for a battler to root for or to aspire to reach their levels, make sure to go follow Hot Pocket. I'll leave a link to his Twitter in the description. All that said, thanks so much to Poket for submitting me these battles, his Continentals run. I'll also be competing in Silph World, so root for me, root for Poket, root for the both of us. And all that said, thank you guys so much for watching a longer video. So if you stuck here till the very end, I very much appreciate you. Comment down below if you enjoyed. All comments are appreciated. They help out the YouTube algorithm. And subscribe if you are new. Click that like button. All that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Peace.